Wow, I am so excited. I can't tell you how excited I am right now. This is my first stream ever on normal latency because I have new internet, real internet, like for the first time ever. 50 megabits up. I'm sure this doesn't sound super amazing to people who live in civilized urban areas, but the fastest internet I've ever had before this was 4 megabits, and now I've got 50. 50 megabits down, 20 megabits up. This is the real deal, friends. So now, I don't know, this is still a bit of a slideshow. Maybe my settings are turned up too high, or it's probably just this sim. This is the same sim I ended the last stream on, and it's pretty incredible. I'm guessing this is like a fairly mature project in Second Life. Corrado, Colonial Nova. I'm going to copy and paste. Hey Ramsey, I'm gonna copy and paste the SL URL into the chat stream so everyone has access if they want to visit this sim. But I was blown away the other day when I came here, and I don't think my reaction was understated. I mean, if you just take a look at just a casual glance around the density and the work that has gone into the landscaping and like all the signboards, this is like vintage, classic, old school Second Life, where people just like poured out their hearts for years on end into a sim. I'm gonna see if I can change my draw distance, because this is 512. No wonder I was getting such a, let's see, 128. Well, I'll see what I can get away with here. Yeah, 128. I think, let's see, that's a little bit better. Yeah, that's a reasonable frame rate for Second Life. Like, I don't know, like 30 frames per second maybe 20. So yeah, this is not my usual. Oh wow, 300 megabits per second. Wow, that's quite the connection. Yeah, the only other person I know in this area who has faster internet than me right now is my father-in-law, who has Starlink. You know, that Elon Musk thing. I don't even know how he got a dish so quick. I thought it was like cutting edge, like you had to be on a waiting list to get Starlink or whatever. He's got 256 megabits, I think. But here's the real kicker. Like, it's almost symmetrical. I mean, for speeds that high, he gets like 128 megabits upload, which is like I don't know how many people besides me have noticed this. Probably a lot. Probably anyone who uses technology, but uploading. Oh, this is familiar. I feel like I've seen this on another sim. Upload is just as important as download. In fact, no, I would say it's more important, because if you have like a 1 megabit download speed and like a 1 megabit upload speed, you can do things that someone with like 128 megabit download and 500k upload cannot do, like streaming, for example. So my fantasy my whole life using the internet has always been to have a symmetrical connection, one where the bandwidth, or the upload and the download have parity. So You know, if you got a 4 megabits download, you got 4 megabits upload. And I feel like, yeah, we can measure the latency in Second Life. There's a whole bunch of, especially in this particular, God, what is, I'm not used to alchemy, so it might take me a second to get all of the, okay, let's see. Show, okay, advanced menu, and then develop menu, info, metrics. Here we go. Oh no, that's matrix. Haha, you're in the matrix, Neo. Let's see, what is this? Somewhere, oh yeah, performance tool, here we go. I just found it completely on accident. Statistics bar, I think, yeah, that's good enough. Statistics bar has pretty much everything you'd want to know. I need to get rid of that matrix now. Where was that? Okay, there we go. Alright, yeah, statistics, this is like pretty amazing. This will, in fact, I don't think I've ever seen a game that has so much information that's just easily available to the client. Like, this is incredible. Probably one of the reasons that Second Life got hacked in various ways by griefers so many times, because so much data is available. But I just love the fact that you can see all of this information. It's really quite incredible. And of course, then you get these like really, really, really advanced. If you just click on the thin bar, you get like these insanely detailed telemetry for everything. So yeah, if you wanted to find the latency, like I don't even know where that would be in here, but I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Normally I just have this is the default micro statistics bar right here, which is just like these two green bars, which is, I think, yeah, data received and data, I guess there's no data sent here, but there's packet loss. Anyway, they're both green, ultra low. That's where you want them. If they turn yellow or red or anything, that's bad. So yeah, I have 0 latency right now. I think that's pretty much with this internet connection. And the stream, I think, is essentially real time, more or less. I'm looking at my YouTube metrics on my second monitor, and it's pretty, here we go, I'm gonna go to the stream health bar. Stream health is excellent. Yeah, the analytics mostly just has viewers, which is kind of silly. But I guess that's what is most important to streamers, obviously. So yeah, wait, I need to bring up the mini map. Yeah, okay, so the mini map's already up down here in the corner. I need to keep a close eye on this because I don't want to accidentally wander into an adjacent sim. Although, let me bring up the big map because I had this theory that, oh yeah, okay, so yeah, it's 4 sims. Oh, more than 4 sims. How many do we got here? 6 sims? So yeah, this is a truly epic build here. 6 sims, all connected, fully integrated to create one giant experience. Like, this is, yeah, this is some next level Second Lifery here. Anyway, yeah, I could probably spend a few hours just exploring this sim. It's another resident. Good old Serena. I've seen you in the stream many times over the last couple of years. Isn't this sim incredible? This is totally like, I mean, man, I just can't believe it. Even the landscaping, like the really casual stuff, just like the trees are like all top quality, like really well placed. Yeah, this is a lot more impressive than a lot of the Sims. I mean, yeah, sure, there's still a few like lower tier assets, but overall, like, I mean, I always try to kind of balance the individual aspects of the sim with sort of the grand vision, and this sim has a really impressive sort of like grand vision to it, like especially given that it's so many sims that are all connected. Like anytime you see more than one sim connected and they're actually contiguous instead of just like completely different components or experiences, that's kind of like a impressive thing. Not just because like the tier costs are huge. I mean, whoever is bankrolling the sim, is paying a lot of money, thousands of dollars USD probably. Although, I mean, most of the time it's like a group and not I'm really having a hard time. Like, poor avatars bouncing around like a ping pong ball. Alright, that's. Can you tell I had my coffee this morning? Because I definitely did. I've been doing this weird thing lately where, well, I'll tell you the story of how it happened. So, like, normally I get my coffee kind of on a pretty routine schedule. I have it almost an OCD level of planning for my coffee. I even have like on my coffee canister it says 38 days because that's like exactly how many servings. Well, I have 2 tablespoons every day, so it's like 2 tablespoons times 38. But anyway, getting a little off topic here. I had like a hiccup in my coffee plans. I think it was due to COVID, and so I ended up spontaneously buying a bag of decaf, which I was like, oh, I'll have coffee at night sometimes, and that'll be fun. Which I like to do occasionally, but I sort of stopped doing it because there were times when I would have coffee at night and I was like, man, this is a really good idea. I love coffee almost more than any other beverage in the world, and it's just like a really nice, relaxing thing to do, like to have after dinner with some dessert or whatever. And the only thing is, like, I keep forgetting that often I will make coffee after dinner and I will have it and not really enjoy it, even though I feel like I should enjoy it. It's one of those weird things where conceptually it totally seems like it should work, but in practice it doesn't. So I would end up like making coffee and then just sort of like drinking it and not really appreciating it. So I stopped doing that for quite a while, and then of course eventually I forgot this whole thing, even though I'm remembering it now quite well. And so I was like in the store buying my coffee, and it had been a while. I think it had been almost a month since I'd bought my regular bulk coffee. And and so I was like, oh, I'll get some decaf too, because normally I actually mix decaf and calf together. I make like a 50-50 mix because I like to drink a lot of coffee. I drink like 4 to 6 cups every day, so I don't want there to be too much caffeine because that can damage your health. So I'm basically trying to prevent heart damage by mixing the caffeinated and the decaffeinated together. And that's a cool boat. Wow. So anyway, this time I was like, okay, I'll buy an extra bag of decaf because it's been so long. And then bulk coffee, of course, it's not like labeled or anything. You got to do it all yourself. And I couldn't find a pen. Normally I have a pen in my pocket, but I didn't have it with me. So I was like, oh, I'll remember this. And of course, no, I didn't remember. I got the bags mixed up somehow. So I had 2 bags of decaf, 1 bag of calf, and so I did my normal thing, and somehow I managed to mix a bag of calf and decaf together, and then I had the other bag of decaf just sitting out for like over a month, and by that time, I'd completely forgotten what was in this bag, and I thought, oh, it's just a regular bag of coffee because I don't normally buy 2 bags of decaf. This is a lesson in unexpected spontaneity and how it's not necessarily the best idea to have a smooth life. That's a beautiful scale. Rose, IBI, of course. Huh, wonder his logo's in here somewhere, hidden. There it is, right there. It's not even hidden. And so yeah, I was like, okay, I'll just mix this bag of coffee with another bag of coffee, and so what I ended up having was full decaf. And the first day that I had this coffee, completely unbeknownst to me, I went through the whole day in kind of like a fog-like dream state with this splitting headache. It was very unpleasant, and like I was literally like slurring. That's how much this affected me. So yeah, I basically went from having more or less a fully caffeinated life experience to not unconsciously having no caffeine whatsoever in my system, and it was really really hardcore, unpleasant. And wow, I think I've completely forgotten the whole moral of the story at this point, or where I was going with it. But that's the Neotoy story experience. I'm waiting for my brain to reboot right now so that I can remember where I was going with the story. That's a perfect opportunity to just wander around and look at the beautiful landscape. Man, this set of Sims is really integrated. Well, of course, you've got to be if you've got this many Sims and you're paying that high of a tier. You really have to be at the top of your game, basically, raking in that money. Hey, this just looks like my orange boy. A cute little guy. Looks like it's multi-mesh. No, it's an animesh. Huh. Cool. Bit choppy for an animesh, but it's not too bad. Meanwhile, I've got like a real cat outside the door meowing at me to be let in. Man, I wouldn't mind living here in real life. This is like a totally nice. Oh yeah, I just remembered where I was going with that whole story. Yeah, so the story continues. The fact of the matter is, I still only have decaf coffee. I haven't gone back to the grocery store to get my regular calf to mix with this decaf. So in the meantime, what I've been doing, because I need my caffeine, otherwise I'm a zombie, I've been mixing Yorkshire black tea. Oh, that looks like a magpie or a raven or something. Oh yeah, that's definitely a magpie, I think. Yep, that's pretty awesome. That's really cool. I love magpies, one of my favorite birds. See, I've been mixing black tea, Yorkshire black tea, which I learned recently. Um, Patrick Stewart, Sir Patrick Stewart, aka Jean-Luc Picard of the captain of the Star Trek um, Enterprise in the Next Generation, he said completely unnecessarily. Uh, he does not actually drink Earl Grey hot. He drinks Yorkshire Gold tea, which I think is kind of considered in Europe to be like a lowbrow kind of like tea of the people. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah. Uh anyway, the truth is it's like an amazing tea. It's like top quality. So I mean, it's no surprise that the captain drinks Yorkshire Gold. But I just got regular Yorkshire tea, and I had a few cups by itself, and I was really impressed. I mean, I think in terms of a black tea experience, it's just like utterly premium. Like if you're gonna start with the black tea, especially sort of a more like authentic British black tea, I think Yorkshire is totally a perfect choice. And of course, you would get Yorkshire Gold instead of like me, who just got plain old Yorkshire, because it's all they had at my local Yankee grocery store. No, I think they actually had Yorkshire Gold there too, but I was like, I want to start off on the base level, you know. I don't want to jump right into the gold experience. I want to know what the classic Yorkshire flavor is before I take the next step. I'm working my way up to Yorkshire Gold. So anyway, like this was basically the only caffeinated tea that I had that was in like nice bathroom. They got like a little what do they call these? Like on-demand water heater. That's awesome. Wonder who made this. Taikao. That's awesome. These are really popular in Japan. I wish they were more popular in the United States, because it's such a great idea. Like, why would you want to have this giant water heater just wasting energy, and with like 80 gallons of water that was constantly being heated, when you could just heat water on demand and have it like superheated on demand too. So like, say you want a cup of tea, you just like turn the spigot and boiling water comes out into your cup, And a lot of these, like, there's one called Vulcan that uses microwave. I love the cat density in this sim. I highly approve. And that is one cute little multi-mesh right there. Kira Terra. Look at that, all these different postures. Guy's adorable. Come on, meow for me. I guess he just wants to do the one thing. Sit. But yeah, like, so caffeine, super powerful drug, and I was like, oh, someone left their phone behind. I'm just gonna grab that and a candy as I leave. Caffeine should be a controlled substance, but thankfully it isn't. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna screw around with this. I want to pretend like I'm Dr. Coffee here, and I'm gonna be dosing myself out with like a really precise dose. So the Yorkshire was perfect for that because it's in little individual bags. And actually, after doing this for a few days, I felt kind of stupid. I was like, man, what am I doing? I'm like wasting these perfectly good manufactured tea bags, because every morning I take 2 bags and I rip them open and I pour them into my French press, and then I put my 2 tablespoons of decaf coffee French roast. And I just happen to be in a coffee shop right now, so maybe I'll have a swallow of my witch's brew right here. So yeah, to make a long story short, the tannins from the black tea mixing with the more like rich, full-bodied, full-flavored, mellow French roast is like a truly wonderful combination. You know, I'm sure everyone has heard of like a dirty chai, where you take like a normal chai tea and you put in a shot of espresso. My lovely partner the other day brought something to my attention which I thought was really interesting, which is like, do you ever notice when there's ever a drink where you add coffee, or like if it's a tea drink and you add coffee, or if it's a coffee drink and you add tea, it's always the coffee that's dirty and never the tea. So like a dirty chai. Hey, there's old Bernie Sanders. God, I've never experienced such blazing speeds. This is like how Second Life was meant to be experienced. It's almost like being there. Yeah, so anyway, I was trying to come up with a name for this concoction, and I didn't really like Dirty Yorkshire, because I don't know, that just didn't sound right to me. But I don't really know what to call it. But yeah, it's just tea and coffee mixed together. Nothing too exciting, but I was really worried initially, because I thought, oh, this could be disgusting, and I'm probably going to be drinking this for like at least 38 days. So I hope it isn't disgusting. And as it turns out, it's not disgusting, because I really love tannins. Like, there's few things I like in life better than like a really strong green tea that's like incredibly high in tannins. Which ironically, there's this company called Prince of Peace that makes probably my absolute favorite straight up green tea. They make a variety of flavored teas as well. God, am I just going in circles? I don't even know anymore. I think it's time to maybe check out one of the other Sims in this block. God, just so many little nice hangout nooks and stuff. Another cool thing that happened to me recently, is since I moved into this, oh, that's funny. I clicked on the door to open it and this padlock appears. That's really cool. I wonder what's inside there. Now I'm all curious. Okay, it's just like a little storage shed or something. Nothing inside of it. Yeah, now that I'm in this house instead of an apartment, we have like a dedicated room. Basically an office space, sort of. We're calling the cat room because it's where our cats both live and hang out when we want them to not get into trouble, which is never, because they're always in trouble. But yeah, before my streaming was a bit of a problem with my partner, because she is like an HSP and she has really high sensitivity to sound and stimulus and stuff. So in other words, it wasn't working out too good to have me prattling off my head for like an hour and a half every once in a while in our living room where my computer used to be. So now that I have like a stream cave, I can pretty much just stream whenever, however long I want, which is great. And with this faster internet, it's pretty much like the perfect storm for streaming. I don't want to jinx myself though, because anytime I ever say that I'm gonna start streaming regularly, it doesn't happen. I mean, I can try to use reverse psychology on the universe and say that am never gonna stream ever again, and then I'll probably stream every day. But that's kind of a crapshoot. Okay, am I even on? Yeah, I'm almost on a different sim now. Am I? Yeah, just Colonial Nova. No, that's where I started. And I'm just wandering all over the place. I want to get down here to the Alpine Meadow. That sounds pretty cool, but we'll see. I'm just going to keep wandering, and who knows if I'll ever end up there. Micronational Museum. That sounds pretty cool. It's not open yet, though. Oh, these are like under construction. Oh, of course, on a sim installation this large, it's never gonna be finished. They're always gonna be like building new sections and creating new installations and having like rotating artists and stuff coming in and doing various things. It's interesting how some of these rooms are like semi-furnished and some are just totally empty. I'm guessing they're probably renting out some of these rooms. Hey, my cat's sniffing my microphone right now. I love it when you can escape through the upper story. It's a big plus for old Neo here. It's kind of interesting. I was expecting it to res, but I mean, I don't know if that's its final form or not. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes because a lot of the art in Second Life is fairly abstract, so you just never know. Yeah, see, these are all for sale, so that's how they're paying tier. Although I don't know, I guess for sale or rent. I mean, it's kind of ambiguous in Second Life. A lot of times renting and selling and leasing are all kind of the same thing. Because you never really own anything. It's just like in the United States where you have to pay property taxes every year. The government takes your land. Oh wow, cool library. I kind of feel like I should, I mean, I want to leave the ambient region wind light settings because it's kind of cool. Like you get to see sort of the project in its natural state, but at the same time it's kind of dark and I really want to change the settings to like my preferred 3 p.m. which gives really good even lighting. This is cool, like a museum with a bunch of artifacts from various cultures. Oh, those are like wizard wands from Harry Potter or something. I love how in the metaverse it's like everything is fair game. Like there's no, like everything from meat space is subject to being drafted into a museum as an artifact because everything in I don't want to say real life, but you know, the non-digital world is the artifact to the metaverse, which is kind of a nice mind fuck. Uh-oh, I'm trapped. Yeah, see, it's really cool to see like the moon shadows and the night sky and stuff. It's just kind of hard to harder to navigate and harder to see everything in this lower light, but at the same time it's just kind of cool to be walking around the city at night. Like this little detail of these steaming manholes. It's kind of cool. Lots of bookshops. Let's see what they got on offer here. Suitable Boy, Vikram Seth, never heard of it. The Cougar, beautiful, wild, and dangerous. The Sustainable Enterprise Field Book, Paris, 1919. Reading Lolita and Turan. Wow, that's edgy. The Lord of the Rings. Margaret Atwood. Oh, The Handmaid's Tale. It's like bestsellers. Jared Diamond. Considered a hack by many. Where are the signed copies? That's a pretty cool quote. Oh, cool. You can receive a free copy. I'm assuming it's just the object and not like an ebook that you can read the whole thing, because that would be highly illegal. That's a nice they got the kids corner too. Really nice job on this. Rose colored glasses, books of distinction. Wow, there's so much to explore. That tower looks pretty cool over there. A tattoo parlor. Man, I want to explore all these shops. This is really the perfect place to stream. To go on a streaming adventure, because it is literally jam-packed with things to explore. Unlike a lot of Sims, where you just find a lot of empty structures. I don't know, it's nice to go to a mature installation every once in a while. See like what you can expect from some of the more long-term projects in Second Life. I sort of like the Greek influences, Greek vibes. Democracy wall right here. It's a nice project. Very skeuomorphic. One of the things I love about the day and night cycle in Second Life is that it's not real time. I know there's ways to like make it real time, which is kind of cool, but I think it's a 4-hour cycle, right? And that's really cool because while you're building or exploring or whatever, you can actually experience sunrise and sunset multiple times during that period. So a lot of times it might be kind of annoying or oppressive to be in a really dark environment for too long, but you know that just like within an hour or an hour and a half or so that the sun's gonna come back up. These are cat people. My kind of people. Uh-oh, I hear a dog. I spoke too soon. I actually have nothing against dogs per se. It's more just that I feel like dogs are a creation of humanity. Like they're just domesticated wolves essentially that have been kind of like bred and trained to be more or less the perfect pet for humans. Although we've turned dogs into all different kinds of things. Weapons, detectors, cargo. It's pretty incredible all the things that dogs have been trained to do. Cats, on the other hand, although the CIA has trained cats to do horrible, horrible things, spying and carrying bombs and so forth, but in general, the feline population. Oh, right, actually, that reminds me of this one story about cats being trained by the CIA, that eventually the CIA just gave up and they were like, this is impossible, we're never going to be able to train these little monsters. They just kept going rogue and like, blowing up CIA assets on accident. Because they just wanted to like curl up in a sunbeam. It's really quite a tragic, sad story. But I mean, it has a silver lining, and that's that the CIA was like permanently writing cats off their list of animals that they could turn into living bombs. And the reason I like that story is because cats are still wild. They here's a fun fact, and believe me, I've read all the facts. I've read the entire Wikipedia page on cats, but cats can recognize their names, and a lot of times you'll call a cat's name and it will just ignore you. That's because they're choosing to ignore you. They actually are fully aware that you're trying to communicate with them. Another cool fact is that cats, all the sounds that cats make towards humans are solely for humans. The cats do not use those sounds when they are communicating with each other. So they literally have created an entire language of meows and warbles and barks and chirps and hisses and stuff just to humor us, which is pretty cool. Cats are untamed. They just like, it wasn't like we took wolves and we turned them into dogs, but when we took cats, the jungle cats just ate us and terrorized us, and then they voluntarily were like, let's make ourselves a little bit smaller so we can mooch off of these humans. Alright, Romsey, catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Cats are subtle. Dogs are like, there's nothing subtle about dogs. Nothing at all. I was listening to this like pet food commercial the other day, and they were saying something like, dogs give you everything they have, and it's true. And cats, on the other hand, withhold so much. This is an awesome clock. Made this. Chrissy Lehman, botanical clock tower face. Really well scripted too. Let's see, is that accurate? 101. Yeah. That's pretty rad. Alright, I think I am going to change the I have to change the sun, but it's not giving me my usual options here. Like I said, I'm not used to alchemy. Alright, I'll just go with midday, I guess. There we go. Let there be light. That's a nice piece of work. Very satisfying tick-tocking sound too. God, how long? I've been streaming for 44 minutes. It feels like 5. I feel like I just started. I guess I could follow these signposts if I was really determined to see all of the different oh cool, I finally made it to Alpine Meadow. Completely on accident. Or did I? Where am I? Yeah, I'm in Alpine Meadow. Sweet. If I just keep walking in this direction, I'll eventually make it to the through the other sims too. Oh, that's an awesome chateau. Really want to check out this structure over here too. Wild turkey, squirrels. Oh, the pathing that was done here is excellent. Oh, this is a beautiful structure. It's a good thing I'm not here in real life. I would have, my heart would have exploded by now with all these espresso machines everywhere. The loft, Nardia Roslo. Deck. That's a nice build. It's got materials too, you can see. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check out this like Santa Monica, whatever that is. Like a tavern or something. Looks like a list of party posters, some like live music probably. It's very like Swedish cottage. Yeah, Alpine, duh, of course. Cool. Everyone is welcome. I kind of want to go up the steep path. That's sort of my preference in real life as well. Oh, he's not wanting to run. I guess double click for run doesn't work in alchemy. That's cool. Little waterfall lake over here. Multiple falls. Let's see what's going on down here. Oh, this is a cool clock. SL time. It's really like I like the typeface they used. It's like super legible. Where he made this. Alicia Stella design. That's a nice asset here. Thought I might be able to take a copy, but it doesn't look like it's full perm. Cool furniture. Very comfy in here. That's a nice asset. Owl crate. This must have something to do with the like sim backbone. It's probably like an official piece of infrastructure. Oh yeah, it does work. My timing was off earlier when I was tapping the forward key to run. Little rabbit. Oh, that's so realistic. I don't know if because it's a really good animesh or it's just my higher speed. Like, damn, that's some... Even the nose twitches. Wow, that is some serious... high quality HPMD rabbit and forest. Definitely an animesh. Wow, look at the scruffy fur on the chest. That's really impressive. This is what Second Life's going to be like exclusively in a few years. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I was whatever that was last week, earlier this week. I don't know when it was, but the last stream I did, I told everyone I was gonna talk about my vaccine symptoms. I got the Pfizer vaccine, and apparently people call it the Pfizer flu. Like if you have a slightly adverse reaction, I guess, or maybe a moderately adverse reaction. I'm not sure exactly which of those two you would characterize it as, but okay, so I got my first shot like pretty close to the beginning of the month, and then like, let's see, 3 days later, I didn't have any symptoms at all for 3 days, and except for where they gave me the shot in the arm. It was pretty, like, it didn't hurt at all the first like 12 hours, and then my arm where I got the shot started to really ache intensely. I think they just, when they gave me the jab, it was kind of hey Ronald, cool. Yeah. So yeah, the pain was pretty intense in my arm, and then that went away after 48 hours or so. Just like lightly aching, nothing serious. Yeah, and then like 3.5 days later, I just got like majorly fatigued. Like, I was working out in the woods as usual, and I went from being able, like fully functional, completely like capable of just doing whatever I wanted to do like normal, to where like I could barely move. Like I wasn't in pain at all. No pain. Just like extreme fatigue. Extreme fatigue. Like and it got pretty intense. Like, I wouldn't say at any point in time I felt like I was in danger, or it was just extreme exhaustion. And like that night I was kind of at home just relaxing, cuz like that was all I could do. Literally moving around was kind of a struggle and took a ton of energy. I mean, I'm sure I could have like forced myself to move. I actually did kind of force myself. I tried to continue working for about half an hour, and I ended up just having to like lay down in a lounge chair and just kind of like focus on breathing and whatnot. Cause yeah, that was sort of where it ended up. Like later that night, I was like, I wasn't having trouble breathing. I wouldn't say that, but it was just like, it felt like it took energy to inhale, and exhale. And that lasted for like, I don't know, 12 hours or so. It wasn't anything serious. It never at any point did I feel like I was in danger or I couldn't like get around if I had to. It was just really inconvenient because I was so exhausted. And I think there was a little bit of aching. I don't remember like intense pain or anything, but I was definitely kind of mildly achy throughout my whole body. Well, I wouldn't say my whole body, but like my legs, my arms. Yeah, and so basically I was like that for 3 days. Like after the first day, the most intense day, it the symptoms diminished significantly. Like I was still fatigued, but I wasn't like, it wasn't to the same level. It was just like, if any time I tried to do anything at all exerting, like if I wanted to go out and start like working on this fence project I've been working on, like lifting 6x6s that weigh like 80 pounds each. Like I would just I'd be able to like move one, and then I would be done. Like I couldn't do anything else for like the rest of the day pretty much. And so yeah, that was how it felt for like 2 more days after the initial day. So for 3 days I was pretty much just down. Not really in pain, just totally exhausted. And then like on the fourth day I woke up and I was a little exhausted. I was kind of worried, like, oh no, this is going to be another one of those days where I'm fine until I try to, like, lift a teacup and then immediately I have to lie down. But, no, it just basically faded away, and then I was totally fine. And that was the end of it for the first shot. And then a month later, I got my second shot. And, this time, I think the nurse that gave me the shot in the arm, it was my other arm. So the first shot was in my right arm, and that was kind of a problem because of the pain, and I was trying to use my right arm because it's my dominant arm. So I was like, okay, I'll get the next one in my left arm. And the nurse was like really well trained, I think, compared to the first one, and she just like did an expert job of like feeling out where to stick in the needle. And also I was more relaxed because I was like, okay, this is the second one. I know what to expect, basically. Although there have been a lot of reports that say that apparently the second shot is supposed to be a lot more intense than the first. That was not my experience, but that's pretty cute. It's adorable, actually. Um, so yeah, she gave me a really expert shot in my left arm, and because of that, like there was no pain at all. And it wasn't until like 2 days later that I started to feel a mild ache in that arm, and I was like, okay, it's only a matter of time. I was like checking the clock. I was like, 2 days from now, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be super lethargic, maybe even worse than the last time, which I wasn't looking forward to. But that never happened. What did happen is the very first day after the shot, like actually, I would say within the first 12 hours after I got the shot, the second shot, I started to feel pain, like aches, like unpleasant, painful aches in my legs and my knees. My joints were aching and hurting a little, especially my knees. And and then yeah. And then I'm just remembering the timing of this. And then like it pretty much seemed to kind of like spread from there, and pretty soon like my whole body, like my arms, my legs, my neck, my back, every part of me where there was a muscle or a joint of significance was aching pretty badly. Oh wow, this is a really nice garden. Got some Swiss chard and bok choy, radishes, lettuce. What are these, tomatoes? Kind of still resin in there, but they look like maybe they're tomatoes. Corn, eggplant. It's a pretty tight intercropping there, but not beyond the realms of possibility. God, there's just so many beautiful little intricate structures on this sim. Really want to explore the inside of this cabin. Looks like they got lupins, mountain lupins. Oh, a hedgehog, that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen a wild hedgehog in Second Life. That's awesome. Little birdhouse. Yeah, so that was intense. Like, once again, it wasn't like extreme pain. I wouldn't characterize it like that. Like, on a scale from 1 to 10, it was probably like a 3 or a 4. Um, it was, and it wasn't like a sharp pain or a stinging pain. It was just like a dull ache, but it was really, really intense and pervasive. And yeah, I was glad when that stopped, and that was just 24 hours of that like intense aching. And I thought, okay, that was probably like the prelude, and I better prepare myself for what's coming next, because I had that in the back of my mind, like the story about how the second shot can be more extreme because by then your immune system is somewhat able to recognize the spike protein, and so it has like a much more significant reaction to the second shot when it starts mass producing the spike proteins. But that was it for me. That uh, first day was it. After those aches went away, which they did pretty quickly, there was nothing at all. No fatigue, no more pain. I felt completely normal. And yeah, let's see, that was at the beginning of the month basically, and it's been like 10 days. So I'm assuming I'm out of the woods by now for those symptoms. And another week, next weekend, I will be fully protected. I think it's like, well, not fully, but 93, 94%, whatever it is. Nice kitchen. I just cannot get enough of all the cats on this sim. It's a cute little calico. That's a multi-mesh. They got like cats from every single vendor in Second Life. It's kind of cool. Very diverse selection. Just want me to go into the bathroom for some reason. It's a neat old school tub faucet. Okay, Adirondack chairs. Actually, I have one of those in my backyard. Oh, there's so much to this sim. Just want to keep going up and up and up and see if I can get to the top of the mountain. Wisconsin, huh? Yeah, a lot of people are feeling really trepidatious about the shot, and I don't blame anyone for that, because some people do have bad reactions, and although the percentage is like so small, it's like 0.03%. It's like, I mean, really, really infinitesimal, unless you have a pre-existing condition or like your immune compromised in some way. Those are the only people I would really worry about. Otherwise, yeah, it's not pleasant. I mean, I was kind of annoyed. I felt a little resentful. I was like, 4 days of my life that I'll never get back, that I basically was down because of this vaccine. But then I just kept thinking, like, well, what if I got COVID, and what if my parents got COVID, or some of the clients I have who are older, and like they got sick and like had a serious case, or like some of the younger people I know who might be susceptible and get like the long COVID symptoms, which apparently is like, that's the only thing that really scared me, like the actual COVID illness. Somewhat terrifying, but it seems pretty straightforward. Like, you're either gonna be fine and recover, or you're gonna just die. or have like an incredibly horrible experience that may take you quite a while to recover from. But then that's like, of course, we all know that's not the end of the story. That the real, like, horrible thing from my point of view is the long COVID that some people get, where basically you have these symptoms that just drag on, like fatigue, or apparently there's all this. I mean, they're still researching all this, so it's not like in any way certain, but there's like certain damages that can happen, like brain or organ damage and stuff. Who knows exactly? It'll be years before we have all the data to, scientifically confirm exactly what long COVID looks like. But that was the thing that got me, that like really tipped me over the edge, and I was like, I just want to get the vaccine. And I feel like so far at least, I don't regret it at all. I mean, 3 days of my life for a pretty high immunity to what could be a really nasty infection and condition. I think that's a worthy exchange. And also, like, I mean, the spike protein, once your immune system is trained to recognize that, it pretty much protects you from most of the future variations, at least the really dangerous ones, I think. Which is also sort of a crucial part of the whole experience for me personally. I mean, there's all this talk about whether or not we'll be getting like routine shots, booster shots or whatever, to help us maintain immunity or protect us from future variants or whatnot, which I don't know, it's kind of a little ominous, I guess. But I mean, that's exactly like the flu shot, right? It's like every year there's new variants on the flu, and if you're in a risk group, you get a flu shot. That's kind of cool. Little hamster habitat. Uh-oh, what happened here? I've been ejected. So painful. Classic modern Alpine cabin. Oh, that's cool. That's a neat architectural addition there. And somebody loves their saxophone. Little balcony here. Swiss flag. Oh, this is a 3-story A-frame. Ooh, I really like this atrium level up here. That's awesome. This is a great build. This little orchids and exotic plants up here. Let's see who makes this A-frame. D-Lab. Cool. Oh, apparently there's a deck version. Well, that said no deck, but they might have. Oh, they probably built their own deck. Looks like, and their foundation. Save some money there. DIY your own deck. All right, let's see if I can continue on the journey without getting ejected from this hostile A-frame. I'm just gonna. Oh, they got a hang glider. station here. That's cool. Might hit that after I'm done exploring. Whoa, that's cool. I don't know, the scraggliness of the antlers is mildly unnerving to me. Guest bicycle resort, that's cool. Now we're getting into castle territory. It's an interesting bridge. Very distinctive railings. The landscaping is just fantastic. The way they integrated all these structures and have the paths. This is like almost like Linden Lab quality. That's cool. A door of light. It doesn't go anywhere though. In the dungeon. Confederation of Democratic Sims. Got a dance floor down here in the dungeon. Gothic castle. Looks like there's snow on the floor though. I feel like the house, like the individual residences, are almost more fun to explore than all the larger macro structures on the sim. Even though most of these are basically just prefabs that are stuffed with high-end marketplace furniture. Wow, this is a beautiful little prop here. MSD, huh? Oh, Morgan Sim Designs. That's a new one. I don't think I've come across one of their creations before. This is neat how the tree grows up through the atrium. Those who wander, not all those who wander are lost. Good old Gandalf. Don't mind if I do. Look, they made me a sandwich. Alright, wow, there's all sorts of props scattered around here in this area. I kind of want to walk over there, but let's see how it's connected. That's quite a ways out of the way, but I don't know, there's some cool stuff over there. I'm gonna check out these glowing mushrooms in the woods. Wow, that's a big owl. It's like the sim mascot. Oh, those wing flapping sounds are cool. Isn't quite rezzed yet. Probably has a mesh face or maybe even a sculpt face. Wow, that's awesome looking. There we go. Oh, it's a sprite face. That's kind of cool because you know how owls tend to follow you wherever you go with their heads that can rotate all the way around. Makes sense that they'd use a sprite with a follow script. A bit wary. I keep thinking I might get kicked out of the any of these private structures. So far it seems like a pretty open sim though, which is cool. Enchanted Garden Cafe. Oh, time for another coffee. Don't mind if I do. Nice little aperitifs here. Oh god, I need to have lunch. I just realized it looking at all this food. I'm like salivating. I'm drooling on my keyboard. It's a nice little cafe prop. Wishing well over there. Yeah, like I was saying, this is clearly the kind of a installation of Sims you could probably explore for like 8 hours. I'm already at 1:15. Oh, those are cool chairs, and the table. I love that kind of building with like sticks, organic sticks. GTCH. There's a lot of new builders. I mean that only makes sense. I mean there's like all the old builders who kind of reached their peak at some point on the marketplace, and now we've got like the new generation, all these like Zoomers who are teaching themselves Blender and stuff like that. They're starting to like get into virtual worlds more, probably partially due to VR too. So if like I guess if one good thing came out of VR, it was getting a bunch of younger people interested in 3D and 3D worlds. I mean, no matter what you say, Second Life isn't just competitive. It's like premier, and a lot of people I think don't realize that until they really get neck deep into Second Life, but that's reality. Like all these other platforms out there, VR chat and whatnot, they're just nascent. They're not mature platforms. They offer like a refined, simplified experience that's more focused, but Second Life is by far the granddaddy of them all. And if you want like, it's like after you get your feet wet on those like basic bitches, then you go in and you get like the real experience, like the wise and mature and ancient world like Second Life. That's where you like you really start to dig deeper, and yeah, it speaks for itself. I mean, that's why I make these videos partially, because once you see what Second Life has to offer, it's hard to go back to those like light versions. I mean, flaws and all. Second Life has flaws, no shortage of flaws, but even with all of its flaws, it's still just, it's on another level compared to these other platforms. I just wish they would hurry up and link lindens, or better yet, like completely replace lindens with like a cryptocurrency, something that isn't like Bitcoin though, something that doesn't waste electricity, some kind of like proof of stake, like the more modern crypto standards. I mean, personally, I think they should somehow integrate the asset system in Second Life. God, I can't get through this gate for some reason. With a cryptocurrency, you know, like, or what I'm really saying is create their own cryptocurrency that's based on proof of virtual volume or something, you know, like, I mean, there's coins like Filecoin that basically is proof of storage, and there's also that one that Bram Cohen, the creator of BitTorrent's working on, Chia, I think it's called, which is also like a proof of space. I don't, honestly, all that stuff, like the technical implementation's way beyond my ability to comprehend. However, I understand the concepts of like proof of stake and proof of storage and stuff like that. It's pretty straightforward. So like, all the assets in Second Life, all the all these virtual objects and stuff, those are taking up space on a server somewhere. And what if you could somehow use that as a, proof of stake or proof of space for a cryptocurrency that then would replace the linden? And then you would be like, you'd really be entering into a whole new world in Second Life, because the linden is great and all. I mean, it's wonderful that there's like a marketplace that Linden Labs like oversees and maintains stability, kind of like the Federal Reserve. But it would be really cool if that was an unregulated market, but something that was still linked to the value of all the creativity and work that goes into populating. Just a sec. Like populating Second Life with creations. Apparently I can only talk for about an hour before my throat starts to self-destruct. So yeah, that's my pitch. And why I think they should do this is because if, first of all, Second Life having its own cryptocurrency would increase its profile. It would get a lot more buzz and interest. Also, it would be another cryptocurrency that would be traded on the market, and Linden Lab could set it up so they could have a cut, a stake in their own cryptocurrency. And that would be an additional revenue source for them. And lastly, it would sort of give the users an additional kind of like buy-in incentive. So we're basically not only would your lindens be useful in Second Life, they'd be useful outside as sort of a type of currency and exchange that you could trade with other cryptocurrencies to make money. And NFTs are kind of interesting. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Ronald. I had to flip it up when I was coughing. But NFTs, I personally think they're kind of like a ridiculous fad right now. But also, I mean, if there's something there, which there's a grain of truth that is why NFTs are, gaining some traction. Not just in popular culture, but in economics as well. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you could trade linens directly with like Bitcoin or Ether, or if it was on Coinbase, then it would just open up a whole new world of possibilities for people trading lindens. I mean, personally, I would like to have that as an option because I feel like it would make the currency more fluid. Although I can understand why Linden Labs wouldn't want necessarily to open up that Pandora's box because, well, multiple reasons. But the first reason being that they would kind of lose control of the Lindex and the exchange and the value of the linden. But on the other hand, if the currency really took off, which I think it would, just given all the different variables, suddenly like lindens could be going up in value like dramatically, and people in Second Life who had a lot of lindens, I mean, not to put too fine of a point on it or anything, I definitely have a vested interest in this. I've got like almost 200,000 lindens right now, and I had 1,000,000 at one point, over 1,000,000. So like, I mean, imagine if those were worth, instead of 300 per dollar, like one per dollar, I would have been a legit millionaire. And if that was a cryptocurrency, that could have definitely been possible. And then there's a lot of people on Second Life. I don't know. I just think it would be a great way to like launch Second Life into the bleeding edge mainstream. I'm sure there's a lot of people at Linden Labs who are into being like hardcore techies. They're probably into cryptocurrencies on some level. I'm definitely on the fence about cryptocurrency, although I really feel like Bitcoin, for example, any cryptocurrency that consumes a ton of energy is unethical. But like I was saying, there's a lot of cryptocurrencies that can derive secure um, value from other computer functions, not just power consumption. So yeah, I don't know. Just throwing that out there. I know there are a few lindens that occasionally watch my streams. I'm definitely on their radar. Oh, this is cool. Oh, I hit the nucleus. This was that part on the map where all those other people were centered. Oh, they got a major dance hall kind of thing going here. I think I might just take a seat at the bar and just kind of like spectate for a bit. This stream's kind of winding down. Give me a good chance to stress test my new connection with a crowd sort of setting. That's a lot of people. This place is banging. This is kind of like the sort of bar that I would actually hang out in real life. It's the appropriate level of sophistication and in class for a gentleman of my stature. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I feel in a lot of ways like this is probably my true first Second Life stream, because now I have a real internet connection and I have a room that's sort of dedicated to streaming, which is kind of cool. So thanks for everyone who dropped in. Huh. That's an interesting point, Ronald. I mean, yeah, that may actually be true. I mean, I know like Bitcoin, for example, uses like as much energy as like Portugal or something. every days and transactions. I mean, what I will say is it's like super, super, super inefficient. And you could say, like, yeah, the banking industry may consume a ton of energy and be wasteful, but that's an incidental waste of energy. Like, when they're conducting their normal business, it's wasting power. That's not the same as like cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin in particular, where the energy is just the energy waste is part of the system, and it's not like they didn't know this was going to happen, and everyone's fully cognizant of it now, like these mining operations that have to raise 400 million in capital to build like these server farms and stuff, and they know that their power bills are just going to be like through the roof, and they go to countries where power is cheap so that they can effectively subsidize their mining operation. So I mean, it's different. I feel like the cognition is a big element there. And in banking, I mean, it's generally understood that while some inefficiency does exist, it's not baked into the system. Like, banking can be made more efficient, and partially cryptocurrency can make banking more efficient, which is really ironic. But if as a side effect of its existence, it's inherently wasteful, I feel like that's an ethical problem, which is why these other currencies are so much more promising, because they're not. I mean, cryptography doesn't have to be inefficient. It's not intrinsically inefficient. It's only inefficient when we make it inefficient. So, yeah, there's a lot of potential there. Like I said, there's always a grain of truth in every big thing. We just have to get past the trendy part. Okay, Patrick, Moya Island. I'll put it on my to visit list at some point. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and stay safe out there, friends. I'll see you around again sometime soon. Ah, yeah, NFTs. I want to talk about that at length, maybe in the next stream. Alright, see y'all later.